Butthole town. What goes up and around the corner. Butthole town. Well, we gotta get out of a butthole town.
I just don't understand, like, why it gets bigger, but then
It's because you're squeezing.
It can't get any bigger than that. That's the thing. It's just, it keeps getting to that one size, and then, I don't know. It just doesn't do anything else. So
What about with age? Like, you're, getting older.
maybe. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to episode 25 of the Butthole Town podcast.
25th anniversary. You could call me MTV.
Okay. This is
They've been
also
around for
episode
25
2
years.
of season 2, if you want to be technical.
I don't want to be technical. That's
Okay.
not my middle. That's not my middle name. Because I was T. Ben T is my name. So
Ben T.
And
Ben T.
And the T doesn't stand for technical.
What's it stand for? Testicles?
No, actually, my middle name is Tab. For anyone out there wanting to know.
Cola.
But anyways, I'm Ben Sheffield here with my not really.
I am your
co-host,
superior host, Joel Knowles.
another smaller host, Joel Knowles. We are coming to you live simulcast from Atlanta and Savannah, Georgia. Woo!
Yeah,
Feels
so
good.
how you been,
But
Ben?
yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I went to see a movie this last weekend. I went to see a Simple Favor.
What?
A Simple Favor was the name of the movie.
Okay.
It was pretty whack, to be honest. Like, it was pretty weird. Like, there was some, like,
I haven't heard
incest-
anything
there
about
was-
the movie,
there was
so
some-
I don't know.
There was some incest in there.
Whoa,
like,
whoa.
half brother, which I don't know why they thought that was, like, really better, because, like, it's half your DNA. And then
What
they
is
had
this,
some, like,
Alabama? Come on.
there was like a lesbian kissing scene and all this stuff. And then later that night, my girlfriend was like, "Yeah, the Bible youth group is coming to this movie tonight." I was like, "They are
What?
they don't know what they're getting in for." Because I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna be."
Well, what was the movie
awkward.
like? What was the premise of the movie that they would be going to see it anyway?
I mean, it's a cool premise. It's like the girl, it's really like perky mom is all nice, and she meets this like really cool mom, it's like mysterious, and that mom like goes missing, but she's not really missing, and then the girl like investigates. I don't know. It's like a thriller type thing in a way, but it's also like funny too because the same guy who directed Bridesmaids directed this and stuff. So it's got a little bit of that comedy vibe, but it's also a little bit edgy, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the premise. It just had some crazy stuff mixed in there. But
So did you get
anyways,
any of the responses from the youth group or whatever?
No, I haven't found out what the youth group thought of it.
I can only imagine, like,
I
hey,
can
kids, we're gonna
only
go see
imagine.
a movie.
Yeah, it's called A Simple Favor. It's gonna be really good. They didn't read the what is those reviews called? It's like the Christian, like, make sure that you can see it with your parents type thing. I can't remember what that's called. I used to always look it up when I was little because I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be like sex in this movie, and I don't want to see it.
Why were you a teenage girl when you were a kid?
That was a teenage girl voice? Jeez. That's what they sound like?
Well, I mean, some of them.
Anyways, I want to tell a quick story really quick that happened to me this week. That's my segue. I would like to tell a story. It's gonna you're really gonna get a kick out of it. Hopefully, people at home will also laugh. So this week at work, a company, they're a hiring company. I don't know if I can say the name of the company, but they're relatively big, and they work on getting people hired. Anyways, the guy that got hired at my job for director of fun is the title of his position. They are doing a special type thing on certain people that got hired through this company, and he's one of them because it's such a wacky sort of
Okay,
thing.
question: is it like an actors hiring company or just like a hiring company?
I'm just gonna say the name of the company because it doesn't really matter. They're not gonna listen to this. ZipRecruiter is the name of the company.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a huge company. So
you apply through ZipRecruiter.
right, yeah.
So ZipRecruiter came.
No, ZipRecruiter sponsor our podcast.
Please, they might not after this. ZipRecruiter, come sponsor my podcast. What? I just had like an aneurysm and just said what I just heard you say. It was like, anyways, but you heard your podcast. It was like I went to say the next sentence, but your sentence just came out. So like, it's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Anyways, so ZipRecruiter came and they wanted some footage from the season because I work for a baseball team, and they wanted footage from the season of Tyler and the crowd and stuff like that. And so I had to collect a lot of B-roll, and it's a little time consuming because I have a full like baseball season I have to go through, and I got the stuff. And I got the stuffs, and I had to copy it to a hard drive. And he comes in. This guy's named Quog or something, something like that. He's got a different name, and he was like,
find out where he was from at least?
No, I don't know. He's probably Filipino or something. But he was like, my name's Quog, and Quog, and I was like, ah, yes, Quog.
Ah, yes, Quag.
Yes, Quag. I had to like say it out loud in front of him just to make sure like this is how you're supposed to say it, correct? Like it was yeah. He was like, yeah, my name's Quag. Yeah, right. Quag.
Have you ever had like you don't know how to pronounce somebody's name, so you just like mumble it so it's relatively close?
That's kind of how it came out. I was just like, yes, Quag. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Ben. He was like, oh, Beb. And I was like, no, just Ben. Not everybody has a weird name, Quag. It's just Ben. And I was like, Ben. I was like, gotcha. Anyways, he was like, oh, I got this hard drive. I need you to copy all this footage to this hard drive. It's brand new. He pops it out of the freaking thing. I put it in my computer, right?
Yeah.
I have his hard drive. And with these hard drives, I hope you start to see where this is going. With these hard drives, you have to format them because they're always set to Windows, right?
Right.
When you get by these new ones. So I had to go through, and I went to format. I was like, oh, yeah, format to this, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, it said it failed, so I did it again. And then I went to copy stuff over, and I went back to my hard drive that's also plugged in the computer, and I realized that I had formatted my hard drive and not his. And so I just start sweating like profusely. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
I gotta go home, and I just like take off and freaking go home because I know I had a backup hard drive at home that had at least the season footage on there, so I didn't lose that. Dude. And I'm just so like, I'm like almost crying on the way home, like slamming the steering wheel, like, why, God, why? Everything I ever worked for is gonna be fired.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And so finally, I get back to work and I start, plugging the things in and everything. And I do kind of, I get around not having my stuff, sort of. People are like, hey, can you get this footage, for me? And I'm like, yeah, just give me a few days. Remember this thing that you had yesterday? Can you like pull that back up? Yeah, just internet connection's really slow. I'll get it to you in an hour.
Internet connection.
But yeah, anyways, that was just a terrible thing that happened to me. I completely formatted my hard drive with like a year's worth of work on it. But that's, that's life. That's how things happen. And also a really funny ending to the story is today, it was their last day shooting. And they were like, oh, we're having a crew wrap-up thing. Can you and Tyler come out here? Tyler's the guy that they're making the special about, obviously. So like I knew that he should be out there, but they were like crew wrap-up. And I was like, oh, they're including me, I guess because, I've given them all this B footage. And yeah, and so I was like, oh, they're going to give me credit. And I go out there to take this picture, and I'm just like kind of happy, that I feel included in this thing. And they just hand me over the phone. I was supposed to take the picture. They called me out there to take a picture. I was so like devastated, like my face probably just literally like white because I was like kind of stoked, and I was like, yeah, like where are we going to take this photo type thing? It's like, just hand me the phone. I'm like, oh, that's why you called me out here. Got it. I was like, thanks, ZipRecruiter. Sponsor the podcast, why don't you? Just go ahead and do it if you want.
Dude.
But anyways, yeah.
Well, that's the reason I've told you about 50 billion times. Have at least 2 copies of your hard drive.
Well, I had the copies of like the really important stuff. I just never copied the whole thing because it took so long to like, move over.
Yeah,
and
that cost you your life. So
yeah, it was a very sad moment. I was like, this is the worst day ever.
It's the worst.
It's one of those things where like it is the worst like thing that could ever possibly happen to you. It feels like for like an hour, and then you like take a nap, and then you wake up and you're like, well, it's okay. Well, at least all the songs that I've been working on for our next EP, check out the drama scene out there, people, on Spotify.
Yeah.
For our next EP is all on my computer, not on the hard drive. So I didn't lose any personal
And that's why you
music
back
stuff.
it up twice. Dang it.
What do you mean? It's on my computer.
Yeah, but you never know. That's what I'm saying. You never know what's gonna happen. You could
My computer can't get wiped. You can't reformat my computer.
I wouldn't bet on it with you. I've seen you do crazy things.
I accidentally took off all the keys off my keyboard. Now I don't know how to work it. But yeah, that's my intro story. I thought maybe you'd enjoy that.
Oh, I
because
did. That was delightful.
You like to see my suffering. Yeah. But speaking of stories, we got a little bit of a story time, just kind of episode today. Gotten some suggestions from my mom to tell more stories. She was like, yeah, you guys talk about some of that stuff. I'd rather you guys just like tell more stories about your life, about you screwing up, Ben.
I want to hear how everything you've ever done wrong.
Also, the morning I screwed up my hard drive, I got here early back home, and I took a shower, and I got ready and all this stuff before work. And then when I got back
people do.
Listen, when I got back out of the car, my car door was open. So I'd left my door open for like 2 hours just sitting in the parking lot. Like, it was that kind of day, I guess. I was like, oh my freaking goodness. When it happened, when the hard drive thing happened, I was like, yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let it be good.
I will rejoice and be glad in this.
Yeah, like this was the day that was chosen for me to screw up. But yeah, everybody has those days. Everybody makes
mistakes.
Yeah, as Hannah
Montana.
Beaufort, Montana would have said.
What?
Just gave her a little middle name in there. Hannah B. Montana, Beaufort.
Beaufort. Okay.
But no, this next story is kind of a Butthole Town
Related story.
It's Butthole Town related story. We're gonna talk about our hometown. We belovingly call it.
But lovingly.
But lovingly call it Butthole Town. Most of the story doesn't actually take place in our town, but a neighboring town. I guess they could be called a gooch town of sorts. Just neighboring the butthole, But so it starts out. I would say I was. I
would
16,
say I was a boy.
I was 16 years old when this story took place. Joel was 14. I would assume, since he's 2 years younger than me. And we. Well, it starts with me. I had gotten to a talent show. I got into some talent show contests. Couldn't really get out of it. Had some addiction problems with talent shows. No, I was in a talent show in this town, and I played acoustic and sung, and I wasn't great. I wore a nice brown vest and a white T-shirt.
The vest. So,
and I thought I was super cool in it too, but apparently not.
You were just like wearing jeans and Converse with this vest.
Jeans and a Converse, a white V-neck tee, and a brown vest over it. But I've probably got it like Kohl's or something.
You look like you were trying to be the guy on American Idol, and then
I was like trying to be the guy with the guitar. Yeah, that look. It was like,
you were going for a $500 look on a $5 budget.
Right. You could kind of tell. It was one of those vests too that was like sheer or whatever on the back.
Yeah,
side.
Like silky or whatever.
Silky, yeah, So
like satin on the front and silky on the back.
No, on the front it was like corduroy. It was like that, that kind of thick, and the back was the silky. It was just like it was like part of a messed up tux, basically. And so I played some songs, and I mean, I wasn't that great back then, but I thought I was great, and people made me think I was, but I wasn't. And so I actually that year though, I think I got second place in the talent show.
Yeah,
I lost to a band, which is kind of unfair advantage, but was good because they had to split the money. So like
they had to split $300 7 ways. You had to split $200 one way.
Yeah, so technically I won that contest, But after the, I think it was the last night, this guy came up to me in a nicely dressed man.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Mm-hmm. I just want to say, for reference, how jacked up this talent show was. The girl that got third did a tap dancing and baton routine, which wouldn't be so bad, But it was
the talent show
radio
was
broadcast.
on the radio broadcast. There was also a guy that did like lip syncing. He was like a mime. And so they played like Frank Sinatra over the radio, I guess. And people were probably like, at home like, oh my gosh, this man is amazing. He sounds just like Frank Sinatra. It's like, because it is Frank Sinatra. Like, he literally just sat out there and lip synced Frank Sinatra as a talent. I don't know why. But yeah, and I can't imagine the girl on the baton on the radio. Just, what do you hear? When it drops, when it falls.
Clunk.
Clank.
That's it. I'm going to assume she didn't do so well. Yeah, she got third, so that just tells you the quality of the talent show.
Yeah, so not a great talent show, but anyways, a guy came up to me after the show, and he was like, hey man, you sound super good. Like, I want to get you over at my studio and all this stuff. And 16-year-old me is like crapping my pants. I'm like, I am going to get a record deal. I'm going to LA. I didn't even think at the time that this guy was like from the town. It didn't even register with me. Like, he probably just lives here. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to some legit studio. I got some studio time. Like, this guy wants to record me, make an EP, make an album. I was like, I am going viral.
I'm going all the way.
I remember like probably bragging to you too about like talking to him and be like, dude, like
I was there. What are you talking about?
Kind of getting a big deal. Well, you weren't there when he talked to me though. So I'm sure I bragged to you afterwards and was like, kind of a big deal now. I'm basically going to be famous after this talent show. So who even cares, if I didn't win? Like, got an album coming out solo. It's called
2 months. I got an EP coming out.
It's called Reflections. I don't know. It's just it's kind of an introspective type album. It's a lot of bird sounds. But yeah, I was super stoked about it. And he had this other guy that had also messaged me on Facebook that worked with him that had saw me, and I think he was the reason that kind of got me hooked up with this dude. Because this guy, the other guy, it was like they're partners. The bigger bald guy,
he looked more like a bouncer for a bar than a recording professional.
I don't think he was even. I think he was just kind of the guy's talent that like worked with him and like helped other talent. But anyways, he wasn't really a talent, but he was like a wannabe David
He was kind of
Letterman,
like a manager-ish.
Yeah, he was kind of the manager-ish, and the guy that talked to me was more of like the engineer, I guess, supposed to be. And so the manager guy though freaking loved me. And so he was like obsessed with me. He was like, dude, you should have won that freaking talent show contest, man. Like, I don't know. That thing was
so
rigged,
handsome
bro.
And beautiful, bro.
That vest, bro, was
the
poppin'.
satin and the corduroy. It's just, I didn't think it goes together, but dang, you really pull it off.
Yeah. But no, so like I'm freaking out, and the guy tells me, he sets up a date. Obviously I guess I could drive, but I didn't drive back then, so I had to tell my mom so he could drive me to the town and drop me off.
I don't know. You hadn't gotten your license yet because you had turned 16, but you got your license later.
Something, yeah.
It was like a month or two after.
Yeah, I don't even remember driving back then. So yeah, I was riding with my mom to this place, to this studio, and I think you came with
studio.
You came with me the first time.
Yeah, I
because the guy also really enjoyed our YouTube videos. We made like dumb comedy videos.
Go check it out,
YouTube.
The Ben and Joel Show.
Or don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind
cringe.
of bad memories. But yeah, super cringe. It's good memories, but it's super cringe. We'll talk about that later, though. It's not important to the story.
Yeah, we talk about that next week.
We made YouTube videos, and so they liked both of us, me and Joel, and so they invited us. Now, thinking about this now, it's kind of weird. We were like kids, these like grown men in this like sketchy studio.
Middle age, not young.
Our parents don't say anything about the whole thing. Not
they
like,
just drive us around.
Yeah, they're not just kind of like, this is kind of weird, or, yeah, this can't be legit. They're just like, yeah, honey, you're going to go viral. You're going to be famous.
I don't get that at all.
These guys really know what they're doing.
Yeah, our parents were not, I don't know what they were thinking while we were doing this.
They were blindly supportive of us in this dream. And so we showed the studio is relatively legit, though.
Yeah, the studio was nice, actually.
And so, like, I think both of us, when we first walked in, were like, holy crap. Like, I couldn't believe it was that close to, like, our hometown that, like, a studio like this even existed.
I mean, looking back, it wasn't, like, great, but it was so much better than anything we had to record with, so we were, like, floored.
Yeah. I mean, just the room itself, they had the glass to look through and the freaking, like,
They had a microphone that was hung upside down.
Yeah, they had sick microphones in there. And anyways, I was super stoked about it. And I think the first time we went a few times. I think we went 3 times in total.
Yep.
The first time I went and you came with, and I just recorded a song. I recorded a acoustic song.
It was an original, right?
Yeah, it was an original song, and I just recorded it. And I remember, I think they gave it back to us, like the mix, the day of. Yeah. 'Cause it was just me acoustic, so they like gave it to us and we walked out, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember us getting in the car and playing it and being like, what the heck? It sounded so bad. Like it was like the most reverby, like crappy recording we've ever heard.
Yeah, it wasn't anything better than what we had made. And we were just using like a $20 microphone in your sister's old bedroom.
And I think that's when we started to become suspicious. We were like, maybe this
is, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm not getting a record deal. That's like literally like when it hit my head, I was like, oh, maybe this isn't like a dream come true. I'm not gonna be on Tiger Beat next week. This is not gonna happen.
TRL is not knocking on my door.
Yeah. Because these guys talk such a big game, if you remember. Like, they were like, dude, we're going to get it out there. Like, oh, it's going to be great.
We're going to get it on all the radio stations around here and all that stuff. That didn't happen.
I was like, right. And we were like, yeah. And the second time we went was not about music, really. It was about a video because they also...
we were going to film a skit.
Yeah, because not only did they do, recording music, they did... skit videos, I guess. I think they were kind of like trying to do videos for hire.
Yeah, they were trying to do multimedia production stuff, video, audio, all that kind of deal. So that was what they were attempting to create.
Some kind of multimedia conglomerate of sorts. And so we show up to do this video that's sort of like along the lines of the crap we were doing ourselves.
Right.
Because they liked that apparently. And
didn't we help write part of it?
I think we showed up and they didn't even have like a punchline and we were like, okay, well maybe we could do this.
Which is pretty bad when the 14 and the 16-year-old have to write the punchline for the professionals.
Yeah, it's like they didn't even have jokes written out. They like had like a concept of like, oh, we're gonna do this like American Idol type parody. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah.
And we're like, where's the punchline?
Yeah, that was it. Well, it's like an American Idol parody. That's the punchline. It's going to be like American Idol.
It's a parody. Right? It's funny and inherently.
And so when we showed up, there was like this other guy there and then the 2 guys that worked there. And that was it. And basically the punchline of the sketch was that the punchline of the sketch they were trying to do with us, and you can find this on YouTube, by the way, all this. If you look up Shane Show and like Ben Sheffield or Shane Show, Ben, Joel, whatever, it'll come up. I've done a YouTube search and it came
Shane,
up. So.
Shane, and then you know how to spell show.
Show, and then if you put my name, it'll come up first because that one I played. But there's a couple videos out there of us from this channel,
and they're pretty hilarious. We just went back. And watched them.
They're hilarious. You have to go watch these videos. And so the skit starts, and it's like about you and this other guy going in to like audition for American Idol. And you guys are like really bad. Like,
really bad.
Yeah, and like, purposefully trying to be even worse than you already are. Like it's bad.
Well, this is to tell you how bad the joke is. At one point, the guy is in a wheelchair and it turns out he was faking it just for sympathy. So I go and get a walker and come back. And as soon as I walk through the door with the walker and turn around, the guy comes in from the same direction and says, hey, can you come back? And like, we're ready for you now. Like, he didn't just see me do that. He's like, did something happen? I fell.
We didn't think about the door that you entered in was also the door you exited in. Like, I don't know. There was also a door like the other side of the room that you could have entered into. But instead, you walk into the room through the door that the contestants go through. And then the guy, like, with the company comes through that door. It's like, wait, what happened to you? Are you okay? And it was some bad joke about, like,
I fell. That's all I said.
Oh, okay. Well, no, the joke was that you stole it from your grandma at a buffet line or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was cringy. It was classic, like, 14-year-old Joel comedy. And so, anyways, you go in and you audition and you're really bad. And
of course.
the other guy auditions
I'm
and
singing
he's really bad.
Honka Tonk Badonka Donk.
Yeah,
Just
he's singing
really
Honky Tonk
poorly.
Badonky Donk. But the joke is, Joel goes in, he's really bad. They're like, you're amazing. And then Joel goes to Hollywood. The other guy's really, really bad. You're amazing. Go to Hollywood. I go in, supposedly the good singer, right?
Right.
I'm not very good because
No,
I start
off
with like the wrong key vocally and everything. And what's so funny to me is like, yeah, I'm supposed to be the one that's like really, really good, and they say no, right? That's the joke, is
Right.
that they turn me down,
But
the guy that was actually good.
They
But
let
the
you go
funny
through
thing
like
is, I'm so bad.
most of the song, though, right?
They let me go through like a hook of the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was longer than you guys had probably. But it was like really bad. So it was like, I don't know if this joke really lands because he's also bad. You know, it's like, I don't know. It was really embarrassing.
And then the girl, there was only two judges, a very large black man and this very young, like 13-year-old white girl, like super preppy. And
Yeah.
this chick was supposed to have a British accent. That was her qualification for being a
that
judge.
was her. Yeah, and that was the joke. It's like, oh, she's British. That's why she's always right, you know. And
Then she didn't have a British accent the entire video. She's just like, yes, that was very nice.
And so I audition and I sing or whatever, and they're like, yeah, you need some work or whatever. And
yeah,
then
just
I'm
another
like,
white kid with a guitar or something like
yeah,
that.
this is something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like, so you guys really don't like me? Like I'm just supposed to be like floored the fact that like I'm not like God's gift to human ears. I'm like, wait a second, you don't like that? Like
I
seriously?
practice every day of my
Yeah.
life.
I say that was one of my lines. This is all improv, by the way, because I didn't write a script, so it was just
At
like
all.
I practice every day of my life. And
Straight
anyways,
out the womb with a guitar, bro.
stereotypically bad, the black judge pulls out a gun and he's like, I'm just gonna shoot you right here. Like, I don't know what kind of joke this is, but anyways, the black guy that is supposedly the gangster from prison that got out or whatever, he was like, the line they introduced him with is like the penitentiary's like most talented inmate
Which
or something.
isn't stereotyped at all.
Yeah, he's not like dressed in like gang clothes and stuff during this whole thing either. He's not wearing like a flat brim hat and like a tap out shirt. He is. Anyways, he like he like stands up, pulls out a gun, and just shoots me. And the thing, yeah, go ahead. I know what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say, for one thing, the gunshot, the timing of the audio with when he pulled the trigger was way off.
Well,
it didn't
you know,
even look close.
You gotta give, you know, the barrier of sound some
Right.
leeway.
Well, the other
I
thing
get it.
is he goes to pull the trigger. It goes blackout, and you hear the audio, and then it cuts to you.
Then it cuts to me falling from the bullet. This is the thing that made me mad. Okay, these professionals that were supposed to give me a record deal also give us a show on TV. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. They freaking say they're gonna put blood and stuff in like After Effects in with this bullet. Like it's gonna look legit. And me and Joel are like, oh my gosh, this is gonna look so freaking sick. I'm gonna get shot and blood's gonna gush everywhere. It's gonna be like a movie. When we watch this final video back, there is no blood. It is the worst.
You just grab your t-shirt and
Yeah, it's
fall
just-
backwards.
It's just bad acting. Is all you're left with. No fake blood or anything. And so the thing is, I fall and then I leave and say, I got to go to the hospital. That joke also tied in to them saying, I got to go to Hollywood. I'm going to go to Hollywood. And then I say, I got to go to the hospital.
And that's the end of the video. That's the
joke.
punchline.
But they didn't put the punchlines back to back to back. So it should have been Hollywood, hospital. But instead
Yeah,
it was like
like-
Hollywood, rest of the sketch, Hollywood, rest of the sketch, then hospital.
It was so far apart.
They didn't understand. They don't understand comedy at all.
Comedic timing.
Yeah, there was no timing. But even better than this story, I think, is the third visit to their studio, which wasn't their studio at all.
Let me just set up where this is.
Yeah, okay. Set up the location.
We go to this location, and it looks like a junkyard. There's
Your mom
just tons
drives
of
us
crap
there.
everywhere. So there's like tables, old cars, like antique looking stuff, but then like
Outside the
junk
building.
outside, all this stuff. So we pull up and we're like, this looks kind of crappy. And at this point, we're kind of like in on
Used
the
to
joke.
it. Yeah,
but
we're like,
they
okay,
told
well,
us,
this is
hey,
bad.
they want to do this idea for a TV show where you guys are like working around town and doing all this stuff, and we're gonna do this interview show too. So this is like the pilot for this interview show. We're like, okay, cool.
That they're
whatever.
gonna sell to like Cox Cable or something.
Yeah,
They were gonna sell it to a local
channel.
network. Yeah.
Yeah. So we show up, we get there, and it's like this really old church building, but like they stripped out all of the pews. All you had left is like this crappy little carpeted stage and then a bunch of old antiques inside this building. That's it.
Yeah, and there's like toilets and stuff. There's like toilet seats laying around and like weird stuff just like everywhere. Just all kinds of junk. It looks like a flea market threw up inside this building. And it was supposed to be their TV studio here or something.
Their nice
I don't know
TV
how
studio.
they got I don't know how they got access to this place or anything.
They probably just walked in the door.
So yeah, by this point me and Joel are already susceptible to the fact that
Susceptible? I don't think that's
is that the right word? Susceptible?
No, that means
That-
like...
That is a word.
Yeah, it's a word. It just means
But
like...
does it not fit what I'm trying to say right now?
No.
Okay, we were aware then.
There you go.
That's a better word, not susceptible. We were aware of the fact that this was not going to be our like breakthrough roles or anything
So
because
we're
it was like
we're kind of in
music
on the
wasn't
joke,
working.
but the
Yeah.
host isn't.
yeah. They're still thinking they have pipe dreams, and we're just like, yeah, this is like the worst thing ever. But it's fun. It's still
Yeah,
fun
we're
for
still
us.
having fun.
We just know like our dreams have already been crushed at this point. We're just having fun.
We're trying to
Being-
salvage anything out of this experience.
Yeah, like maybe we can use something from this. I don't
Yeah.
know. Learn something. Well, I think we did learn something pretty
Yeah,
valuable.
don't make stuff like that.
Well, also just like I think it taught us a good lesson of not getting our hopes up too high for things like this. But anyways, they want to do this interview show where he's, I guess, like he's fulfilling his thing trying to be David Letterman. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, like he's just like the worst David Letterman. And I haven't seen this episode in a long time until I went to YouTube. It's also called The Shane Show. It's like another one from the same channel. And it's like a crappy desk and this like flea market couch sitting beside each other. And behind him in frame is like a breaker box. Like the freaking silver breaker box is like behind his head. Like they did no kind of set dressing to this place.
All you had to do was put up a backdrop or even
Something.
angle the camera in a different position. It's just chilling back there.
And also camera wise, like they had like freaking cranes.
They had a
and
handy
stuff, right?
cam on a crane.
They had cranes, but these like cheap little Panasonic, like handy cam, like this is before even the 4K handy cam, so it was just like a tiny camcorder.
This was probably 720p at tops.
I don't even think that they didn't render it out at 720p. These videos are probably
Like
360. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, there's like 4 pixels on the screen.
They didn't even take the time to make a sign to go on the desk. They put in text in after
Right. This is
in
even
Premiere
better.
on top of the desk. So like you
Even
can tell it's
better.
like floating in front of the desk. It doesn't look legit at all.
Yeah, it's like whenever you watch a talk show and it says like Ellen or whoever like on a backdrop or on a desk, it's like, oh, okay, it's like an actual like prop.
Right,
It was
yeah.
just the Shane Show written on just in Premiere on top of the desk. Yeah, it just looks so crappy. And anyways, I am the interview guest, at least the first one. Joel shows up at like the end for like 2 seconds, but
The whole
they,
interview is only like 2 minutes long.
yeah, it's very short because we were there for a while too. You know, they cut like everything out of that whole thing.
everything.
Like anyways, it's like, okay, we're introducing Ben Sheffield, and then the word Ben just pops up underneath. Not my whole name, just Ben in like white Arial text, Ben, and then fades out. And so like I come in wearing like something freaking ridiculous. I was wearing like orange neon Vans and like an orange and blue plaid shirt that I wore all the time. And he asked me some like weird questions about like songs and stuff, like, was this about a girl? And I'm just like, maybe. And I'm like, I'm bad at even asking, like answering the question. Yeah, maybe. That's
what he replies. You say maybe. He says maybe, and then they cut it to the next question.
It was all part of his hidden agenda to like get me to like him. Like, is it about a girl or maybe about a older guy in your life that's maybe taking a liking to you? Maybe it's like a father figure type thing, you know?
Like a Papa Bear kind of vibe.
my god.
This couch is actually not for an interview.
Oh god. That would explain the crappy cameras. But anyways, no, so gosh. Anyways, he asked me some questions and then it cuts back to me playing the song that we recorded the first time.
Right, which is the full song.
The full song,
Just
so it's
put
like
the whole song. The whole song is
mid-interview.
longer than the interview.
So it's just mid-interview. It's like, no, and he also asked me before the song starts, he says, can we play that clip? Like he has to get permission from me to play the clip on his show.
And why didn't you
do
just cut that afterwards if you had to get permission from the guy? Like,
do you mind if we play the clip you got at our studio earlier?
the one we
you mean the
literally
one I
just
recorded
recorded?
a month ago? Yeah, you mean the one I did a month aso that sounded terrible? Yeah, sure, I don't care.
Roll it.
Anyways, roll it.
Mark
We're live. And then so it cuts back to that, and it cuts back to me, and I'm sitting on the couch, and he starts bringing up YouTube, and he's like, all right, Joel, come out here. And he's like, Joel. You know, Joel's name comes up, and Joel's wearing like some freaking boots and jeans.
I'm wearing some like knockoff Sperry's, some bell bottom or not like boot cut jeans, and just a t-shirt. Like the worst outfit.
And then he just, I don't even know if he asked you a question.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I don't think you answered
All
anything.
of the questions were like yes or no answers. And so he'd say like, so you guys make your own videos?
Yes.
Yes.
They were really bad
And then they
questions.
would cut. Every time they would cut. And there's like super fast cuts. So you get like one word in and then it cuts. There's no definitive like answers to any of the questions.
The worst to me is like after every question you kind of like repeat your answer. So it was like, how many videos do you guys got on your channel? We're like 14 videos.
Oh yeah, like
and he
14
goes,
or 15.
And he goes, 14 videos. Wow.
And then cuts to the next question.
14 videos. But yeah,
We'll include the link to those videos in the description.
Yeah, we
of
have
this
to.
episode.
I'll put those links in. You guys have to watch these videos. They are killer cringy. There was also there's like a redneck black guy that was in the first skit video that we did with them, and he was also there, and I like never understood why. Like he was taking time out of his day to just be there.
Yeah, he was just around. He didn't do an interview or anything. He was just chilling. Like, okay. He was a strange guy. He was like an aspiring actor too.
Maybe the Papa Bear vibe got him.
Got him.
Enticed him. There was also that 13-year-old girl that was in the first skit that they were like, I think subtly trying to get me to like date. Like, she's gonna be here too. And
There was way too many weird vibes.
She's a singer too. Like she sings and she's gonna be by here later too.
She's gonna be by on this couch later.
And I don't know how they like tried to sell it. Oh god, I don't know how they tried to sell it to like the network either. Like, did they even try?
No,
or did they
there's
just
no way.
Did they just watch it back and they're like, no, we can't do it?
I don't think they were that self-aware.
They just watched it back and they're like, yeah, this is a lot worse than we thought it was.
No, there's no way they were that self-aware about it. It's super weird though.
There's people out there though that are just like that are just like not at all self-aware about how bad they are. I mean, you see the people on American Idol and shows like that legit, and they're like, you know, really bad at singing but think they're great. This is kind of, I mean, the same thing. It's just really grown. It's like, and it was sad too because it's these older guys.
Yeah, it's like, how
fulfill.
at that point in your life are you so oblivious to how
Just
bad
out of it.
the content is?
Or why now? You know what I mean? Like, are you just now getting into this stuff? Because they had like, somebody in that group was rich.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but somebody was rich because they were spending moolah on some stuff.
Yeah.
And they weren't bringing any money in because I think we were the only client that they had. I think they probably filmed like some birthday parties and stuff like that, like to make money, maybe. But
they filmed one commercial, and you can see that on their YouTube channel too. It's pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Obviously they're defunct now because their YouTube channel hasn't updated in like 6 years or something like that. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty
that was a interesting experience, and it's pretty bad when a 14-year-old realizes how bad the content is that you're making as a 40-year-old.
yeah,
I'm just glad we didn't get sexually assaulted, because that was weird.
Okay, they weren't that creepy.
No, but the whole situation's weird. It's
The
like
situation
you got a
was weird
13-year-old
enough.
girl, this really big white guy, a dude that's supposedly straight out the pen.
Most talented guy out of the pen. And then you got like the guy that was supposed to be like the gearhead of the group,
Yeah.
that, like,
And then
was
you got
supposed to be.
this other random redneck black guy. Like, it's a very strange.
It was a strange
arrangement.
group. It was a really weird group of people that like somehow like just had all these like separate dreams to get together. Like I think each one of them wanted something different out of it. And so like nobody was working together.
Yeah, no. Not at
It was
all.
just like, I'm trying to fulfill this. You're trying to you're trying to be a comedian. You're trying to be a director. And like nobody actually knew how to do anything. None of them knew how to do their individual like tasks, let alone the things that the other people were trying to do. So it was a disaster. And I think they sold the studio building. I mean, that place isn't open
it's an
anymore,
insurance building now.
Oh gosh. I wonder if they still got the studio set up. They left all the mics in there and stuff. Like, no, we don't need it.
So now there's people working at the insurance company making rap songs in the back while they do on their lunch breaks.
We got a studio back there after you get finished, with that claim.
There's actually an insurance building in our town with a studio in the back.
Actually, yeah, there is.
We'll talk about that later.
That's fine. Legit, even more legit studio than that too.
Yeah.
But it's just it was a crazy experience. But it's bad that it's all out there for everyone to see.
No, it's great that it's out there for everyone to see. At least we can say we knew it was bad going in, or like after of the first thing. We knew it was bad.
I mean, it's wild that we haven't even brought it up on the podcast. I mean, we've waited this long because it's something like I guess was a repressed memory of mine because it's one of those things it's one of those things you like remember.
You're in shock.
It's one of those things you remember that happened like 4 years later, and then like you forget, and then like 4 years after that, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that now. Like, oh my gosh. And then I keep going back and watching it like every like 2 or 3 years, like
just to remind yourself you don't want to be in that place when you turn 40.
Yeah, just like please don't let me be here. It's just so funny and just so cringy. Yeah. You guys got to check it out. Anyways, next thing, Joel, kick it off.
So
what we got next?
Speaking of corny and very unself-aware things, YouTube, but filtered.
Yeah,
Godtube. That should be their slogan. YouTube, but filtered.
So I think this was back in like I don't know when they started. I'm gonna say like 03, 04 because I remember when it was like somewhat popular.
Right. Yeah.
So this is gonna be hopefully a segment that we bring up from time to time. We're gonna talk about Christian fads that didn't catch on.
Really take off. Yeah.
Didn't really take off, and one of them being Godtube. And I actually brought this up to my girlfriend the other day, and she had no idea what I was talking about.
She didn't even know it existed.
No, so I guess it really didn't catch on. Really didn't catch on. So there's a website on the internet called Godtube.com. So it's basically YouTube.com with a skin, with a Christian skin.
We had to put a halo above the videos.
And so it's like it's a Christian YouTube. It's YouTube with a filter. It's a lot more like spammy looking than YouTube. Even there's like a lot of ads everywhere on the front page. So it's like
I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to anyway.
Okay.
They can't really control what ads go on their website. Like Google or whatever controls that.
It's whatever you looked up. Because right now I got ads for DJI, like Mavic drones.
Exactly.
And I've looked up that, so yeah.
So there's a high possibility that they could have some stuff on their website
not very
they
good.
really don't want on there.
Like there could be some very bad like screenshots that people send to Godtube.
Wouldn't that be the worst? Like your husband uses your computer, right?
you log on to Godtube and the worst possible.
You hop on Godtube.
I just sign into Godtube. That's my homepage, right? You just sign up into Godtube, load it up every day after work, see what's popping.
Oh.
And that would be the worst. And just the worst possible ad comes up. Honey, what have you been looking at? I saw this on Godtube today. I know Jesus didn't put this there.
Bounce your eyes, honey. Bounce your eyes.
Guard your heart. Just guard your heart. So when you go on there, the top, it says Godtube. The T is a cross, obviously.
Oh, of course. That's a given.
And it says Christian videos on the top, just to let you know that, like, this is not the other Godtube.co or whatever. This is Godtube.com. And we do Christian videos. No Jewish videos. I should say, that says it in the corner over there to the right. It's very small print, though. No Jewish videos. No Hanukkah celebrations here, please.
Oh.
And what's funny is, like, not everything is a Christian video on here, but they like, it's like, what authorizes it to be on Godtube? You know what I mean? Like, what is like clean but also like godly? And so, like, the must-see video on here is Hillbilly stuns with banjo performance at talent show.
You know what's even funnier than what makes it on the Godtube is that there's an actual person that has to sit there and go through YouTube videos and select what goes on Godtube.
Oh, Joel, that's the secret. I haven't even got to that yet. So Godtube, I was like, oh, you know, Godtube is just like, it's like YouTube. You upload your videos to there. No, nobody is uploading videos straight to Godtube, I don't think, because all of them are actually just YouTube links, which blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, this is fake? This is literally YouTube. Like, it's just embedded YouTube videos. So, yeah, there's just some dude just going through YouTube videos and just dragging them over to his Godtube file. Like, yep.
What is
that? That one's Christian enough. My grandma would like that.
Can you imagine explaining that as your career move to your parents?
Mom? Dad, well, I work for Godtube. And they're like, what is that? Well, I kind of just move over like the best banjo playing hillbillies and stuff like that. It just kind of put them on this other website, and then we just kind of claim them to be our own videos, you know. It's, I get paid $30,000 a year, Dad. Please. Please.
He comes from a Jewish family, and they, like, disown him.
Godtube. Oh, yes, we love God.
It is Christian.
It's Christian.
Son. Sit down, son. We got to have a talk.
Dad, it's an anti-Jewish site.
I don't think Christians are anti-Jews.
No, just Godtube. Not Christians in general. Like, we're not, it'd be funny. It's not funny.
Jeez.
It'd be kind of funny if, you know, Christians didn't get along with Jews. No, it's like, you can't really be anti-Jewish and Christian because Jesus was Jewish.
Exactly. But Godtube, no Jewish videos for them.
No, Jewish videos for them, sorry. They didn't read that part of the Bible. They were like, Jesus was what?
We're a New Testament website.
Somebody tells them, like, you know, Jesus was a Jew, right? What?
The outrage.
We've been reading this version we've been reading the Message Remix for years.
We've been reading the Emoji Bible.
It says Jesus was a smiley face, praying hands. There's nothing about Jewish in here.
Oh.
But anyway, so I'm on Godtube, and I go to sign in. It says, please sign in to get access to all the Godtube features. If you do not already have an account, click create account. And they misspelled the word account. So you know that, you know.
You know it's legit.
This guy's doing legit. Yeah, so I'm signing in through Facebook. While I'm doing that, I do want to point out the fact that, like, yeah, some of the stuff on the homepage is not Christian, but I already said that, but, like, I don't know how they delegate.
What
how
the
do
metric is for that?
Yeah, how do you know when it's just, like, Christian enough? You know what I mean? Because the categories here in videos are comedy, ministry, news, sermons, you know, cute, movies, popular, inspirational.
Gotta be careful with the cute category.
Inspirational, music, popular hymns.
Which
I'm sure is a very popular category.
It's hopping, boy. All those fresh new hymns coming out down the daily.
The top artists. Oh, they have a top artist list too. Top
it's Chris
1
Tomlin.
through 5.
10 times.
No. It's Hillsong. Hillsong, Casting Crowns, Tim Hawkins, Zach Williams, Chris Tomlin. Okay, Chris Tomlin's 5. Sorry.
Dang, Chris, you got to step up your game, bro.
Bro, I go up to him after a concert. Like, great stuff, Chris. Number 5 on Godtube right now, so you might want to try like some new things. I know that means a lot to you. Those numbers. Numbers matter. Numbers do matter. No matter what people say, numbers do matter, Chris. Get more great stuff sent to your inbox from Godtube. More comedy, more inspiration, more music, more fun. Get the best of Godtube every morning and start your day with a. And then they like wrote a sign up sheet over this last line, so you can't really see what it says. If it's just YouTube links, why can't you just go to YouTube and look up all this stuff? Like, it's not on Godtube only.
It's not Godtube exclusive content.
Yeah. That's that other small writing. Right under the, no Jewish videos is
no exclusive content.
Beginning of the video is not Godtube exclusive. World Star. It's yeah, I don't.
Just think about if Godtube did make exclusive content.
It's just that one guy, the one guy that's always moving stuff over.
He's doing like one-man shows.
Yeah.
Like a one-act play by himself.
He's doing like
playing all the characters.
He's doing like Jonah and the Whale, with just like some goldfish snacks.
He's doing it with Legos and goldfish. Yum, 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 Mr. Whale. Ooh.
Dad, are you proud of me yet? He just breaks character. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Dad comes in with a yarmulke and just whacks him.
Well, they got inspirational. The breakup song. Well,
what?
How is that inspirational? Adult son cares for his elderly father in the most loving way.
Jeez. That does not sound like something that should be called Godtube.
Are they retitling these videos for Godtube? That's what I think happens. I gotta go to the freaking YouTube link of this video and see what it's actually called. Oh my gosh. This is original content. This one is the original content? The adult son caring for his father in the most loving way? Yeah, it's like,
so
it's
right.
not
it
even
is one dude and his dad.
Oh, no. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. False alarm. It's Facebook embedded, not YouTube embedded. It threw me off. I thought this was original content because it was a different square, but it's just Facebook embedded. Sorry to disappoint. No Godtube exclusive content. I was about to freak that this was the one they chose. I'm watching it a little bit right now, and the guy's just like washing his dad's hair and kissing him on the cheek and rubbing his face and stuff. It's kind of disturbing, TBH.
Is it the same guy? Is it the same hillbilly that's playing the banjo?
It's all the same guy. Every video is the same guy. When it's like Carrie Job sings hymns. It's like you click on it, it's just him in like a wig singing it. The quote underneath this video about the guy and his dad, "I do anything for him. It's actually an honor to do that for your father because he did that for me as a kid." Well, you know what? He also wiped your butt. So are you going to do that too?
Dude, so I just looked up Godtube and they have an app.
Oh, you got to get that Godtube app.
So
son.
this is the description. Watch the most popular Christian videos from Godtube.com on your phone. It makes it sound like it's their original videos. Then you scroll down a little bit and it says inspiring curated content, which just means taken from somewhere else.
Do you think they get into some trouble for doing this, for just copying other people's content?
No, because the views are still going to wherever they're pulling it from. It's an embed. So the views still go to YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is. They're literally just like selecting these videos. But it says, selected videos have been handpicked by our trusted Godtube video team to be inspiring, uplifting content for adult Christian viewer.
Adult
So Christian
not kids.
Viewer.
So it's not good for kids.
Oh my gosh, dude. All user-uploaded videos to the site have been viewed and approved by a member of the Godvine editorial team.
Dad, I'm part of the Godvine editorial team. You don't understand. I go through Facebook and YouTube all day.
The description section of this app has a frequently asked questions section. And it's one question. And the question is, where can I find these videos online? Answer, watch all videos online at godtube.com.
or
Why
anywhere
do you need a frequently
else.
asked questions section for one question?
This is the question we get a lot. Where do we see videos at? Where can we watch videos? You can watch it right here on Godtube.com. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
What's funny to me is that like the people they can't go through YouTube because something might pop up. So it's like we have to go to GodTube because if like Logan Paul's face shows up or something, then we got to go talk to the bishop type.
Dude,
thing.
I'm just trying to get on that Godvine editorial team though.
I think it's probably just volunteer, Joel. I don't think they get paid.
Oh man.
Tiny goat and baby copy each other. Little sister hugs big brother when he gets off the bus. Man, this stuff is really intense.
I like that it says all user uploaded videos to the site, but we haven't seen any original content.
Excited 6-year-old helps, in quotes, the pastor baptize him. He drowned himself. Sorry. Too far.
I like
No,
that
you don't
it's in
even have to
quotes.
dunk me. I'll do it myself. And
He just
never
cannonballs
came
into
back
the
up.
baptismal.
They asked the pastor, "Why didn't you save him?" He was baptizing himself. I didn't know when I should interrupt. So that's a really
I don't want to
personal
interrupt the
between-
moment.
It's a really personal moment between you and Jesus, and I thought that he was really connecting to the Spirit, and so I just didn't really want to interfere with
I don't want
that.
to get in the middle of that. I mean, I know it's been 10 minutes, but Jesus
he's
survived 40 years.
He's kinda
not 40
purple.
40 days in the deserts.
He's kind of purple, but he got these lights over here in the pulpit shining through here.
We're not sure
so it's
if
kind of
it's
hard.
we're not sure if it's the colored lights to create the dramatic effect or he's actually turning blue.
The praise team's kind of doing a little bit of ambiance right now. He's doing a little bit of lead guitar work. It's kind of hard for me to hear him like scream underwater.
The keyboard player's fingers are cramping up. He's holding that same one chord for that 10 minutes.
Oh man, that was really messed up. Sorry about people out there. It's just a joke. Sorry.
Oh,
Man.
This whole thing is like people just being completely unself-aware. Like GodTube has no self-awareness. Those guys that we worked with had no self-awareness. Just be self-aware, folks. Be self-aware.
I think GodTube would have been super successful if they had just made their own content. Because then it's like, that's only on GodTube. You got to go see it.
GodTube exclusive.
But I mean, this is why this Christian fad failed because it just they didn't do anything that you can't get on YouTube. I don't know. There are some like homeschool kids though that their moms will only let them on GodTube. I know for a fact there are some kids out there that like their parents are just like, okay, only GodTube and Godbook today.
Godbook? Isn't that called the Bible?
Do you think Godbook is a website?
I don't know.
There has to be a Christian Facebook too, though.
Oh, there is.
Like-
It's
There's a Christian Facebook.
yeah, I know there is.
Pastors Launch Christian alternative to Facebook. This was only a year ago.
A year ago, they're a little late to the game.
Yeah, they're like they just couldn't get over the name Godbook. They were like, that's the Bible, but it sounds so good, Chris. It's called socialcross.org. It sounds like a charity organization.
There's a
Doesn't sound like
website. There's a website.
Website.
Called There's a website called godbook.com. There really
yeah,
is.
but that's not a social media though.
No, but it is a real one, and it looks very, very weird.
Well, socialcross.org is one you can connect and share with people that matter to you, is what it says. Which is that's terrible for Christians to say. Oh my God, just connect
Only
with
the people
Christians.
that matter to you.
Christians are the only ones that matter in the world anyway, so this is just a place to connect with those people. Just to clarify, me and Joel are Christians. If you listen to this episode without any kind of
Yeah.
context, you might think we're like bashing. Let me just put that out there. We are men of faith.
Men of faith.
That's our next.
We're GodTube
podcast.
exclusive.
That's what the name of this episode is gonna be. GodTube exclusive content. Straight off the GodTube.
That joke fell flat. Anyway,
Kind of like GodTube.
welcome back, everybody, to episode 25 of the Butthole Town podcast, season 2, episode 2. Get it right here, exclusively on GodTube.
Thank you for Godtube for sponsoring this podcast. Don't forget to wipe. Don't forget to not do drugs. And don't forget to just, whenever this older guy's telling you, hey, we're going to get you a record deal. Hey, we're going to put CGI blood on this video. It's going to be dope. Don't believe them, okay? Look into it. Check out their socials. Check out their the profiles on Godtube and socialcross.org, and you'll find out whether they're legit or not. Just saying. Peace, y'all.
Be careful.
All right, hey guys, we're just going to do a quick ad reading for our sponsor for today's podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Godtube.com. Joel, can you tell them a little bit more about Godtube?
Godtube is the only place for you to go as a Christian to watch videos. The best part is you don't have to bounce your eyes every 3 seconds.
Let's say you're scrolling down YouTube and a girl's breast with a circle in front of it shows up as a thumbnail.
No.
What are you going to do?
You got to put a hedge of protection around your heart.
And maybe press that forgiveness button, go straight over to Godtube and get some good content. So for that, on Godtube, we take the content straight from YouTube and put it on Godtube, but only the good stuff.
You're out there living a sinful life, not paying attention to the word of God. You got to go to Godtube.
Are you awake or are you asleep? Is your heart asleep? Wake up! Go to Godtube.com. It's where all the Christians are going. Do what your friends are doing. Unless they're going to YouTube.
For every view on a video, we forgive 1 sin for a kid in Africa.
Wow. What are you trying to do? Give them shoe boxes for the rest of their life? I don't think so. Get those sins forgiven and go to Godtube.com. Check out the best videos. Cute, funny, and just watch those videos. Every view. 1 sin forgiven. Those sins may not actually be forgiven. Look more on Godtube.com.
Join now for a 30-day exclusive free trial of holy water.
Go straight to Godtube.com. They got the best videos on the internet. No breasts allowed.